I requested your assistance, Commander, and do not need a report on events that occur on my own doorstep. What I do require is a detailed account of your previous engagement. George, it's been too long.
Mom.
What have you done with my armor?
Just some additions I've made.
Indeed. Visegrad Relay. Its data center was home to one of my xenoarchaeologists, Professor Laszlo Sorvad. Perhaps you could shed some light on his death.
If he was a civilian male in his mid-60s, he died with a Covenant energy sword through his abdomen.
Elites, then?
They engaged us as well. It was just after we found your scientist's daughter, Mom. She was hiding in the...
Irrelevant. The Elites. Tell me more about them.
3, Zealot class. One got by us. The leader, from the looks of him.
Zealots. You're certain?
Their armor configuration matched.
Shield strength, too.
I gave the order not to pursue. Our primary objective was to get the station's relay back online.
Your primary objective? Commander, are you a puppet or a Spartan?
Ma'am?
There are those at ONI, myself included, who believe the Covenant dispatch elite advance teams to hunt down artifacts of value to their religion. Survivor accounts suggests such teams are small, nimble, and almost always Zealot class. No doubt they came to the station for the abundance of ONI excavation data stored there. And you let them get away.
Data retrieval was not a command directive. Even had we known, we had other more urgent matters to attend to.
Like warning the planet.
Professor Sorvad's final entry in his field notes made reference to a latchkey discovery. Latchkey. Not a word he would use lightly. So let's hope that the data module your Lieutenant Commander stole contains it.
Cat?
Before you ask, I was alerted the moment you attempted to access its contents, as I am with any unauthorized tap. That data is classified Tier 1. I could send you to the brig for interfering with my work.
Maybe you'd like to join her.
I'm sorry?
We're currently under emergency planetary directive, winter contingency. I'm sure you're familiar with the punishment for civilian interference with the Spartan deployment.
Are you threatening me, Commander?
Just making a reading suggestion, ma'am. Let's move, noble team.
Mom?
That will be all, George.
Recon Team Bravo reporting in. 3 and 6 in position. It's starting to get crowded up here, Cat.
Then we're closing in. Report to any Covenant structures or devices. Direct action may be necessary.
Copy that. When Cat runs an op, direct action is always necessary. Here, you may need these. High velocity, armor piercing. They'll take the hat off an elite at 2,000 yards. And they ain't cheap. I'll be in touch.
Welcome everybody, Josh here, back at it today with a brand new YouTube video. Today we're talking about this, which is Halo Reach on the Xbox Series S as well as Xbox Series X. This also works with the Xbox 360, and this game is really awesome for a variety of different reasons. This is basically Bungie's 4th game in the installment of the Halo franchise, while technically being a prequel to the franchise similar to that of the Star Wars movie prequels that came out after the original trilogy. And I have a love and hate relationship with this game. I really do love parts of the single player story campaign to it, while I also don't really really like aspects that they've changed in terms of the Halo lore, as well as the armor abilities, the new abilities that you have in the single player campaign. So we're going to be talking about that here in this review now. As you guys know, I've been kind of going back and doing some different reviews on my channel, mostly video game reviews, just because of the fact that I can't always be doing cosplay reviews, especially now given the situation that I find myself in. But Halo Reach was one of those games that I really didn't get to play originally when it came out in the 2010s. I actually played it later on in life when I actually got the collection from the Master Chief Collection and just went back and replayed it. Played a little bit of it on my brother's Xbox 360, which is basically how I was able to get my hands on this copy. But I think that Halo is one of those video game franchises where, even though I didn't get to play Reach or ODST until later on in my Halo career, I did play Halo CE as well as Halo 2 originally when they first came out. I played Halo CE on my friend's Xbox. Eventually got a Halo 2 on my Xbox when I was a kid in Florida, and then kind of went back and played Halo CE in terms of the campaign and everything. And I think that this is one of those campaigns that's really great, even though, spoiler alert, they basically kill all the Spartans at the end. It kind of feels like the Seven Samurai or basically Rogue One, a Star Wars story, went back and showed you guys a little bit how the Spartan 2 program basically became a thing, where Dr. Halsey is basically trying to create the Spartans so that way Earth can defend itself against the Covenant, which the Covenant are basically in full force in this game. They're basically glassing colonized worlds, they're glassing alien planets and stuff like that, and basically taking over the universe. And as you guys know, the Covenant's mission in sort of these games is basically to light the rings and basically stop all life in the galaxy. It's a Thanos style threat. The Covenant are basically led to believe that this is a religious thing, that if they kind of go through with sort of this plan, that they become religious figures at the end, when in reality they're basically doing what's wrong in terms of the galaxy and wiping out alien life and basically all life in the universe. And I think that's one of the things that really separates the Covenant from a lot of different enemy bad guys, especially in video games, where the Covenant view themselves as the righteous ones, the ones that were the forerunners that created Earth, the different planets, universe, and that they have full reign over the galaxy. And Master Chief is no longer in this, even though this does take place in 2552. This does take place in 2552. This is basically, like I said before, a prequel. You get different Spartans that are in this video game with Spartan George, you get Cat, you get a couple different other Spartans that kind of join Noble Six, which is basically this team that's assigned on Reach to kind of protect it from the Covenant as they're invading. And I think that that's one of the things that I really do like about the characters in this video game, is that they all have their own unique personality, whereas Master Chief is a very stoic and heroic individual. He doesn't really say that many lines compared to the Spartans in Halo Reach. You know, the Spartans all have their unique abilities that they can utilize while you're playing a single player story campaign. And while that is really cool and really unique in terms of the story of this game, that's something that the other Halo franchise don't have. It kind of does ruin the flow when you're trying to figure out which Spartan abilities that you want to use on your own character. In this game, you also do get to customize your own version of a character for Noble Six. He's basically a rookie, and he's basically assigned to Noble Six to kind of help out with the fact that the Covenant are invading Reach, and you get to understand where UNSC is in terms of the lore of this universe. And Reach is basically the last stronghold before the Covenant find Earth, and you kind of realize that this is basically humanity's last stand. It's basically showing the prequel era side to this, like I said before you get to see Halo CE and Halo 2 and Halo 3 eventually on future games in this franchise. And so while this is a prequel to the Halo franchise, while you don't get to control Master Chief, there are Easter eggs and lines that kind of come through in terms of the single player narrative that do echo into the future of the Halo franchise, Dr. Halsey being one of them. She's this scientist that's trying to create the Spartan 2 program, which the Spartan 2 program is basically taking all these children and basically thrusting them into augmentations and basically creating super soldiers out of them. And you can understand what they're fighting for and why they're kind of doing this, even though what Oni is basically doing with these kids and taking them from their families is probably wrong. And there's sort of this gray area of what would you do in terms of trying to protect humanity from an alien threat. And that all culminates this crescendo where all the Spartans in Noble Six City, like I said before, perish, and they all perish in really cool and intriguing ways. And I think that that's one of the things that I really do like about this game, is while it is grim, while it's kind of dark, while it is kind of one of those games that's not as action-packed or like story-heavy in terms of the character-driven narrative of this universe like the other Halo games are, and like it doesn't have a happy ending like the other Halo games. Once you're done with this, you immediately want to go back and replay Halo CE, you want to go back and replay Halo 2 and Halo 3 and kind of get the feel like you would if you're going back from the prequel era of the Star Wars franchise and kind of going back and watching those up to the original trilogy. And I think that with Halo becoming as big as Star Wars was, as Halo was being compared a lot to the Star Wars franchise, you know, I think that that is definitely warranted in these games. I think that Halo Reach, along with some of the other games in the Bungie franchise, especially Halo ODST, which I haven't reviewed yet, I think it does kind of get that comparison to the Star Wars franchise, which at the time was just as big as Halo was. And now we get expanded media such as comic books, movies from the Halo franchise, which we really didn't get that much before. And I think that Halo Reach was that bridge to the next installments of the Halo franchise, whether they're good or not. Like Halo Infinite was, didn't really like Halo 4 or Halo 5 Guardians, but that's for a different review for a different time. And I think that Halo Reach was coming out in terms of when I was in high school, kind of at the tail tail end when I was in high school, and I think that it definitely set the stage for not only my future but a lot of other people's, and it really did inspire me, like a lot of these other games that I've reviewed on this channel, to create worlds of my own. You know, the Halo world itself is really great. I think the Halo messaging within this franchise is really awesome. The fact that you get to control your own Spartan and customize them and kind of create different version of a character that you weren't able to do in some of the other Halo games is really great. The musical score by Martin O'Donnell and the writing with Joseph Staten is really great. All of the narrative stuff within it is really deep and brooding and grim in terms of the context of the Halo universe. It's not really happy, kind of like what the other games in the franchise are, and kind of get the feeling that this is kind of the culmination, probably the end of the Bungie era of the franchise. Even though they did Halo ODST and they moved it on to 343 Industries, whether you like their games or not. And I think that the Halo franchise is definitely one of those games, especially Halo Reach, where you kind of need to play this game in order to understand the rest of the story. I definitely think that this is definitely an A+ product. If I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10, even though people claim that 10 out of 10 games don't exist. But with the voice actors, with the story that was given to us, with all of this other stuff that was just added to the Halo universe, I think that this game, Halo Reach, definitely deserves it. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of Halo Reach. Did you actually pick up a copy of this game for yourselves when this originally released? Did you play on opening night and play through the multiplayer, the single player campaign of this game? What was your favorite moment in Halo franchise leading up to Halo Reach? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, and as always guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
What is this stuff?
Knowledge. A birthright from an ancient civilization. This AI is its custodian, and she has chosen you as her couriers.
Chosen? By an AI?
By this AI, yes. Her measure of you carries as much weight as my own, perhaps more. You are to take her to the UNSC shipbreaking yard in Azad. There, you'll find a Halcyon-class cruiser waiting to get her off-planet.
I understand.
Do you? Mankind is outmatched. When Reach falls, and it will fall, our annihilation is all but certain. Unless we can glean from this artifact a defense against the Covenant. A game-changer. On the level of the conical bullet in the 19th century, or faster-than-light travel in the 23rd.
And what if we can't?
An apt question, if there were somewhere else to place our hope. There is not. Take it, Lieutenant. She has made her choice. Do you have it?
Yes,
Say the words, please.
I have it.
Dr. Halsey, Noble 3 will escort you to Castle Base.
I require no escort, Commander.
June, make sure nothing falls into enemy hands.
I'll do what's necessary, sir. Good luck.
You too, Rifleman. I need a heading, Dot.
At 3 kilometers north, turn right, heading 050.
Which leads to?
The shipbreaking yards in Azod, the only off-planet extraction point left on this continent. Small-scale air attacks have decimated many convoys en route. An armada of Covenant cruisers is hastening to the site as well. UNSC cruiser Pillar of Autumn is awaiting your arrival.
Wouldn't be a noble mission if it were easy.
Please respond. Please respond. Sierra 259. You are alarming me.
Not sure how long she's gonna stay together. Skies are jammed up anyway. Gotta get you off her, Lieutenant.
Sir,
You don't want to hear it. Get the package to the Autumn.
done.
Not yet, it's not. Emil, go with him. It's a ground game now.
It's been an honor, sir.
Likewise. I'll do what I can to draw their fire. 6. That AI chose you. She made the right choice. On my mark. Mark!